guys and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Sophie. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on, let's be honest, the bane of all of our lives, winged eyeliner. Obviously because we're in lockdown guys, we aren't going anywhere, so I thought this would be a really good little tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you some top tips to help you get the wings even, long wearing, smudge proof, and hopefully a little bit easier. Eyeliner is a real statement, so I feel like if you don't wear even much else on your eyes except for the winged liner and the lashes, it can look like you've made a lot of effort. Obviously it looks really simple, but it's really difficult. So I hope these tips help you out. As always, all the products that I'm using today will be linked in the description box below. I hope you really enjoy today's video guys. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, so there's a few things you should have on hand just in case you do make any mistakes or you need to clean up the edges of your eyeliner. I always do recommend having some cotton buds on hand. Also, any sort of makeup remover would be great. Some like micellar water or any other makeup remover is fab. And also have some baby wipes as well, just in case. So let's face it, eyeliner is not easy. Whether you're somebody with a steady hand or not, it's always going to be difficult because your face is round, your eye is round, so drawing a straight line on something round is not easy. But while we're in lockdown, guys, honestly take this opportunity to sit and practice your eyeliner. Why is it that we always do our eyeliner before a night out? If you think about it, you literally do your whole makeup, it's looking amazing, you decide to just, let's go for the eyeliner, and then you absolutely ruin your whole makeup because you screw up the eyeliner. And that just sets a tone for a night out. It's not fun, okay? So I strongly recommend using this time wisely. Practice your liner whilst you've not got anywhere to go. I promise you will thank me later. One thing that I will say is not everyone can actually wear super sharp winged eyeliner, and that is because of the way that your eyelid sits at the ends of your eye. If you're someone whose eyelid comes down a little further, it will mean that your eyeliner will have a sort of crease or a bump in the ends of the tail, so therefore you're not going to have that super clean sharp wing. If you are someone whose lid comes down a little bit further, I strongly suggest instead of doing like a winged liner, like a sharp winged liner, doing more like a smudged sort of blown out winged liner, and that also looks super flattering on the eye. That's probably one of my favourite styles of makeup anyway, so you're not really missing out. I'll probably do a tutorial on that in the near future, but I'm not going to be doing that in today's video. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to be using today is this pen liner here. This is from Ciate. I still never know if I'm saying that right. This eyeliner is just a felt tip, just like this. I'll show you. It is really easy to use because you just hold it like a pen, and that's why I always recommend to start with this, is because we all know how to use a pen, we all know how to hold a pen, so it's a really nice easy starting point. The only thing about using this style of liner is that usually the eyeliner that's actually in it is a little bit more smudgy because it's usually water based. To avoid our eyeliner from smudging today, I'm therefore going to go over it with a gel at the end. I'll explain that a little bit more as the video goes on. So before you start your eyeliner, you want to have a little think about two things most importantly. How long you want the tail of your liner to be and how thick you want your eyeliner to be. So just get in your head what kind of liner you would like before you start doing it. A lot of the times we just jump in and we go for it, and then you have no direction, so you're not really sure what you're doing. So have a little think about that first. The most important thing about winged liner for me is to make sure that the tails are even on both sides, which is why I know it's so difficult sometimes. Today I'm going to show you a method that I use to ensure that I get the tails equal every single time. Probably a bit too close, but needs must. If you don't get the tails at the same angle, put it this way, you're going to look a bit crazy because you don't want one to be like kind of going up like this and one to be going straight. What I always do is take something with a flat edge. This here is just a tinted moisturiser from NARS. The straight edge on here, I'm actually going to use it as a guide for my eyeliner. Now, as I said before, I'm going to be using this pen first, so I'm just going to grab that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the edge of the tinted moisturiser underneath my eye. The reason for this is that both of your eyes are going to be the same underneath, so if you always follow from underneath and out the way, they're going to ensure that it's the same on both sides. We're going to pop that under our eye like so, and then we're just going to literally draw on top of the edge, and that's going to give us a nice wing. Now what you do want to think about at this point is maybe not making this edge super long, because then you're going to join up with it later, so you don't want it to look crazy. So I would always just suggest practicing different lengths to see what you prefer most. Just literally going to pop it like this, and then I'm going to start from the outer corner of my eye and just going to trace along there. Cool, so now I'm going to go ahead and do it on the other side. Just make sure that there's no liner that's went on the edge there, because it will print onto this side. Okay, I've actually went a bit longer on this side, so I'm just going to add a little bit more here. So I'm just popping that back down. So as you can see, we've got two straight lines now that we can follow. I feel like initially these look a little long, but I know by the time that I've joined it up with the rest of my eyeliner, it's going to look really nice. If you do go a little bit big here, you can literally just grab a cotton bud and take the end off. Before you do your eyeliner, I would strongly suggest mattifying your eyelids. So whether that's using a powder or an eyeshadow, or if you've got a pigment on your eye, that's perfect. You just don't want to put it on top of like a damp tacky concealer. So make sure you mattify your lid. I've already got a little bit of eyeshadow on today, so that is me good to go. So now that we've done the tail, which is the most tricky part, we're now going to start to work along the lash line. Now to have your eyeliner looking the best it can be, I would always suggest having it as close to the lash line as possible with absolutely no gaps at the lash line. But we're still going to stick with our pen liner at the moment, because as I said before, we already know how to use a pen, and we're going to use that as almost like a template for when we put our gel on top at the end. At this point, I change up my motion to sort of pressing motions. So I'm going to be using the sort of long side of the pen, and I'm literally just going to be pressing along the lash line, and each time just making sure that I'm going to join up to the last bit that I've placed down. You can start from the end, but I always like to start from the front. So I'm just going to go ahead and start here. And you can see I had to pat a few times just to make sure that the product went down. So just make sure before you move on to the next part of the eye that you've got enough product there. So I'm just moving along now. And then that's my next part. Make sure that you don't blink while you're doing it. So if you need to press a few times, sort of blink first, then press, then blink after you've done it, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to move on to the next part. And then the next. So now I'm just following down my eye basically. And then I've literally reached the edge of my eye, as you can see. At this point, I feel like it's not maybe as thick as I want it to be, so I'm just going to go back to the middle, because that's where I wanted to start thickening the most. And I'm just going to pat slightly above where I've put the current liner. So that's a little bit thicker. Also at this point, make sure that you've got it nice and dark right at the root of the lash, so just go right down and pat that in there as well. Cool. And now is probably one of the hardest parts as well, is obviously connecting it up to this wing here. What I will say is, so long as you don't come past the end of this tail here, you will have a perfect wing. So try and join it up when you get to about here, so that you've got a nice tapered edge. So from now what I'm going to do is I'm going to join from about here to about here by just drawing a straightish line. Ta-da! Now I'm just going to fill in this little triangle here. I'm pretty happy with the way it's looking, however I always like it to be a little bit thicker here, but you're better to start small and thicken it as you go, so always just be careful on that front. Now I'm just going to start from about here, just a little bit thicker, and just draw along as well. Again, make sure that you don't go right to the end of the wing. Now I'm just going to go and do the same on the other side. When I'm doing the other side, it's probably worth me saying that obviously I'm right-handed. I'll hold it like this, but then I like turn my arm, so like my hand is like twisted round, if that makes sense. So yeah, try and give that a bash as well. Whatever hand you're using, try and lean the elbow on something. So I've got a little drawer on my dressing table that I actually pull out just so that I can lean and rest my elbow on. This is because obviously your hand can be quite shaky if you're just kind of holding it in thin air. If you've got something to actually lean your elbow on, it really helps to like steady your hand. So definitely try that. At this point, don't worry if it looks a little bit raggy on the edges. You can see my edges look a little raggy. We're going to straighten that up with a brush and some gel. And like all makeup, I always suggest like persevere till you've finished, because halfway through you can feel like it looks a total mess, but by the time you've finished you can actually be quite proud of yourself. So stick with it, guys. The next thing I'm going to be doing is taking some of this eyeliner here. This is my favourite eyeliner in the world. Is the Inglot gel liner in number 77. So it's pure black and it is quite a thick product, but it is super black, so it looks amazing when you put it over top of the pen liner. It's also smudge proof, waterproof, super long wearing. I absolutely love it. Now, like all gel products, you might have found that your eyeliners dry out sometimes, so I strongly suggest storing them upside down. So I do this with all of my eyebrow gel products, all my gel eyeliners, anything that has a tendency to dry out, store them upside down. The main reason that's for is because the oils in the product tend to go right to the bottom and then the rest of the product at the top dries out. So by keeping them upside down, it stops the oils from setting in the bottom of the tub. Top tip. If you do find that your eyeliners are getting a little bit dry, and I know that some eyeliners can be pretty expensive, then it is definitely worth buying something that will help to thin them out and rehydrate them. This here is called Duraline from Inglot. It also helps to get your eyeliner nice and smooth. So I'm actually going to go ahead and drop a little bit of that into the eyeliner. I've got a little palette, so I'll show you. This is it here. I've just dropped, sorry, I've got some foundation on there from earlier. But yeah, I've just dropped a little bit into the liner, and I'm just like making it a little bit thinner. And it just makes it a little bit easier to work with, because if your eyeliner is slightly dried out, then you're going to drag it along your lid and your edges are going to get even more raggy. So we don't want to do that. Basically all we're going to do now is pat this gel along the eyeliner and the guide that we've already put down. We're going to smooth out the edges, and we're going to be using pressing motions to do this. So always think about the position of your brush when you're doing this, because you don't want to just like go willy-nilly, like pat all the way along and then you've got no direction. You need to be really careful. Think about the position of your brush, how far up on your eyelid you're putting it. Are you patting it directly over your guide? Are you going further? Just take your time basically. There's no rushing eyeliner. So I'm using an angled brush for this. This one is from My Kit Co. It's called My Sharp Angle. And when you put the product on the brush, make sure you kind of flatten it out on both sides just to make sure that it looks really thin and sharp. I'm going to be pointing the angled side, like the pointed side here, on the inside of my eye. I'm literally just going to make sure that I've got it in the position that I want it to be, and then pressing it on. Again, don't go right to the edge of the tail because we've already got that nice crisp edge. Okay, it's probably a good thing that I've made a mistake, because we're all going to make mistakes, guys. It's not the end of the world. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a cotton bud and I'm going to pinch the ends of it, and I'm not going to put any product on it yet. I'm just going to drag it along over the top of that little thing and hope that it comes out. Can you see? To be fair, I probably should have let it dry first. If you make a mistake, wait till it dries a little bit first before you go ahead and do what I just did, because it will not smudge as much. I'm going to finish the liner and then I'll come back and fix it at the end. When I get to the end, what I actually do is I turn the angle so that the pointed side here is facing the wing, and that really helps to give me the direction of the wing. If you're someone who struggles with getting their lid flat as well, you can always drag and pull your skin taut and then go in and do that as well. So back to this little guy, I'm just going to like pull the dry cotton bud over top of it, trying not to go into the eyeliner that we've just done. Then I'm going to go over my edge again to make sure it's nice and crisp. That looks so much better already. So I've just zoomed it back out a little bit, guys, because obviously during lockdown I haven't been able to get any waxing done, and yeah, that's not a good look on camera. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fix the little bit that I screwed up, and we're going to clean up our corners. So this brush here is amazing for cleaning up eyeliner. I strongly suggest it. It's the 212 from MAC, and we're just going to take any sort of matte concealer. If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll have seen me using this NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, and I'm just going to take a little tiny bit of concealer on the brush, and I'm even just going to take the excess off on my skin here because you don't need a lot of product to clean up your edges. So I'm just going to kind of tap that here, and then I'm just going to use my finger just to blend it in. I'm also just going to take a tiny bit of translucent powder and I'm just going to pat that on top. I'm just going to let that sit a little minute because it will make it look nice and bright and crisp. So now I'm just going to do the same on the eyelid really. I'm just going to take the very, very minimal concealer. And then I'm just going to mattify that little bit there with the eyeshadow that I was using earlier. So I'm just now going to dust away that translucent powder, and that should reveal a lovely crisp edge to the liner. So I'm really happy with the way the liner is looking. Obviously you could just wear mascara. I'm going to pop a little pair of lashes on now just to showcase the eyeliner in its best form. These are the House of Lashes in Iconic Lights, and they're really winged at the outer corner, so they really look amazing with a liner. So lashes are on. I'm just finishing off with a little bit of mascara on the bottom and the top just so that my lashes blend in. I wasn't going to put anything in my waterline, but now that I see it all finished, I'm just going to put a little bit of bronze eyeliner in there. This is the Maybelline Lasting Drama in Brownie Glitz. Yeah, I'm just going to pop it at the side. And to finish the look off, guys, I'm just going to pop on a lip. So this lip liner is a Morphe one. I think I've used it in one of my videos before. It's the Morphe pencil in Love Bite. And the lip gloss I'm going to be applying is from Dose of Colours. It's in the shade On Repeat. So guys, this is the finished look. I hope that these hints and tips really help you with your eyeliner application. If you get a chance to try any of them out, please tag me because I love seeing your recreations. Thank you so much again for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.